How's everyone doing today? It's your boy JG Domination, and man, oh man, we're getting close to the end of the NFL season. It's sad. We only got 3 games left, unless you count the Pro Bowl, then it's like 3.5 because the Pro Bowl is a bag of shit. No one really cares about it. So let's talk about games that actually have a meaning to them, the AFC and NFC championship games. Man, I cannot wait to get into these. Let's just go ahead and get started. So, of course, we have the 6-seeded Tennessee Titans versus the 2-seeded Kansas City Chiefs. This game will be played in Arrowhead in Kansas City. Man, the Tennessee Titans are really making these NFL playoffs seem like March Madness. I mean, wow, what a run they have been on. And it all goes back to the start of the regular season. You know, of course, when they had Marcus Mariota at quarterback, and you had me projecting them to win the AFC South and, you know, be a playoff team. I couldn't have imagined them going to Ryan Tannehill and coming out of the other side playing in an AFC championship game in which Ryan Tannehill could potentially return to Miami where it all started for him. I mean, what a ride this has been for Tennessee. You know, they said, oh, they wouldn't be able to sneak into the playoffs. What do you know? They sneak into the playoffs. Not many people, but a good amount of people said, you know what? They're very talented. They're red hot, but I don't think they're going to beat the Patriots. They go and beat the Patriots in Foxborough. Oh, man, they're running into the number 1 seeded Baltimore Ravens. They're red hot. No one has an answer for Lamar Jackson. What do they go do? Beat the brakes off of Baltimore and force Lamar Jackson to play one of his worst games in a long time. And here they are. They have an opportunity to beat a team they've already beaten this year. You have to go back towards the middle of the season to look at the fact that the Tennessee Titans did beat the Kansas City Chiefs 35-32. Mahomes had a very great statistical game, but it came down to a blocked field goal, a game-tying attempt from Harrison Butker that was blocked. I forget the player who blocked it, but he has a few blocks on the year. But wow, I mean, Tennessee, it was in Nashville. This time it'll be on Arrowhead, or in Arrowhead, not whatever I just said. But, you know, Kansas City's lost 3 games this year at home. 2 of them against AFC South opponents, the other to the Packers with Matt Moore at quarterback. But Tennessee, this quote-unquote Cinderella run, I don't even consider it a Cinderella run. I know that's a term I've been hearing lately, but listen, I'm a firm believer in getting hot at the right time, and this Tennessee team is red hot. I mean, and Derrick Henry, by the way, he's not only playing to get this team to a Super Bowl, he's playing to change the perception on running backs. Maybe running backs can carry you to a Super Bowl. Maybe running backs are valuable. Maybe they do mean something instead of just drafting a guy in the 5th round. Because let's face it, how many Derrick Henrys are you going to find in the 5th round? Not many, if any. Derrick Henry was a 2nd rounder that honestly should have been a 1st rounder, but you know, it's so easy to say that looking back on it now because everybody with their 2020 hindsight. But anyway, man, I could talk about Derrick Henry forever. Let's talk about the rest of the Tennessee Titans. And yes, because there are 2 games, we will have lengthier descriptions and dialogue and all that. So let's talk about the Titans for a second and how they got here. Let's talk about Ryan Tannehill. He gets thrown into this fire after Marcus Mariota stinks it up for another week. Tannehill gets thrown in. He earns the right to be the starter, and there was no looking back. Through 11 games, Ryan Tannehill has been one of the best statistical quarterbacks and honestly one of the best quarterbacks, period. Now, I wouldn't say he's like a top tier quarterback or anything because let's face it, you look at his whole body of work, he's just been a guy at quarterback, but it just goes to show you, man, it ain't over until it's over. It's you know, you can feel free to give up on a player, but then you have guys like Tannehill who has the talent but never seemed to really have any success, never looked great in the big moments. And here he is, after the Miami Dolphins basically gave him away for a 6th-round pick. He gets an opportunity in Tennessee, a good backup for Tannehill, and that's really what we were all saying or a good backup for Mariota. That's really our big takeaway was, oh, he's going to be a good backup for Mariota. It'll probably put competition on him. And not only did it put competition, it put Mariota on the bench. And Tannehill came in and made this offense look electric. Seriously, I mean, A.J. Brown's probably going to win Rookie of the Year. I'm not saying he will, but probably could based on how the season has went with Tannehill. And then, of course, this defense. I mean, this defense has been great for a few years now. And you look at where it is today, it might be at full peak. And they still have some improvements to make as well. And that's the scary thing. You have a guy like Jeffrey Simmons who they just drafted. I expect that defensive line to be better moving forward. They could still use another pass rusher outside of Harold Landry. They could still use another corner. They could probably use, some more development from Amani Hooker. They could probably use more development from him. But this is a great defense. And if you think Mahomes is just going to make light work of this team, he did the first time, believe me, and he probably could the second time, but I wouldn't be so certain. That's all I'll say. The Titans, they have nothing to lose. There's zero pressure on them. As far as I'm concerned, they have overachieved by miles, and if they get blown out, so what? They've already beaten the Patriots. They've already beaten the one-seeded Baltimore Ravens. They've already outdone themselves and then some. So if they were to get blown out like 45-3, who cares? They've accomplished so much. And they're one of those teams that will get like an A++ when I have to grade playoff teams. But now we talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, right? You look at all the playmakers they have. You look at Patrick Mahomes, who might just be up there with like Russell Wilson, and Aaron Rodgers is like the best quarterback in football. He may already be the best quarterback in football, but to me, that's Russell Wilson, in my opinion. But Mahomes, he's not a one-hit wonder. He's not a one-year bloomer, and he is proving that. I remember people saying, he can't replicate what he did in 2018. And yes, that is true. I don't see him getting 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards consistently, because it's only been done one time in NFL history prior to that, and that was by Peyton Manning. So, yeah, I can't see him putting up, Madden numbers every single season. You're asking a lot, okay? But Patrick Mahomes, man, he's flown under the radar this year, and a lot of it has to do with his injury. And the Chiefs, they were slumping for a little bit, and then they quietly went on a large winning streak. Their defense was playing much better. Steve Spagnuolo really seemed to get a grasp on this defense and what they could do as a unit. But Patrick Mahomes, man, I mean, you just saw what he was able to do in a divisional round against the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans went up 24-0. And it wasn't like their defense gave up everything. It was like a short field here and a blocked punt for a touchdown, and then a big play given up by busted coverage and a long, sustainable drive here. And then the Chiefs' offense turns around, scores on 7 consecutive drives, and on 6 of those drives, they scored a touchdown. And Travis Kelce had 3 touchdowns, and Damian Williams had a couple, I believe. And it's just like, damn, this offense literally showed that they can get red hot at any second, and that is dangerous. And if I'm the Titans, listen, it's going to be tough. You already saw him the first time around. It's going to be hard to stop Patrick Mahomes. I don't think you can stop Patrick Mahomes. You have to hope to contain Patrick Mahomes. You're going to have to hope to sell out to stop someone, because the other guy is going to go off. Like, if your game plan is to stop Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce is going to go off. If your plan is to stop Travis Kelce, well, they're just going to get the ball in space to Tyreek Hill and let him get yards after the catch. This is a hard team to defend. But then you look at the Chiefs' defense, their pass rush is starting to get it on. They're doing a good job staying disciplined on the edge when running backs try to take it outside. And this is just a tough matchup for me, because it's one we already saw. It was a 3-point game when they played, and Tennessee's red hot, but Kansas City is one of those teams that I just think will have the answer to everything. Derrick Henry, it's who wants to tackle him, really? Who wants to run one-on-one with him? Tyrann Mathieu said he tried that and he had like a broken jaw or something, or he felt like he had a broken jaw trying to run up with him. Derrick Henry he's gonna be a beast. But you're gonna have to make Ryan Tannehill throw. But the thing is, Ryan Tannehill has been very efficient this year as a quarterback. He has a high passer rating, a high completion percentage, most yards per attempt, most yards per completion. Like, it's so easy to say we're going to make Ryan Tannehill beat us. But he's been able to do it throughout the year ever since he stepped in. So it's kind of hard to just say that. Your best hope is to get this team in 3rd and longs and hope you can get pressure and hope that you can stay at bay when you're covering these receivers and trying to figure out how to cover Travis Kelce. I mean, man, it's just going to be tough. That's all I could say. But the winner of the AFC Championship game, the team I am selecting to win the AFC Championship game, is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to have them winning 30-27. It's going to be close, and really you can coin flip for either of these teams. I think the Titans have more than proven themselves and more than proven to the entire world that they are capable of going to the Super Bowl. They could win the Super Bowl with Ryan Tannehill as their quarterback. It's not ridiculous to think about. Just based on how they've played, it's not crazy, okay? But this Chiefs offense is just so damn explosive, so hard to stop. And I think the X factor for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'll do an X factor for Tennessee too. The X factor for Kansas City, in my opinion, is going to be Damian Williams. They're going to have to get him the ball. He's going to have to run a little bit effectively. He's going to have to do a little bit out of the receiving game, out of the backfield. I think that's the X factor for Kansas City. I think it's Damian Williams. And for Tennessee, I think it's going to have to be Corey Davis because, at wide receiver. Because A.J. Brown, we all know that's their big playmaker. That's the guy who's really established himself as the playmaker. Derrick Henry, I don't really see an answer to stop him. Corey Davis, he's another one of those receivers I really liked when he came out of the draft. And he's shown potential. He just hasn't put it all together. He's going to have to play big for Tennessee to win. It can't just be Derrick Henry and find A.J. Brown. Someone else is going to have to pick it up, and if anyone's capable of it, I do think it is Corey Davis. But we'll see how that goes. I got the Chiefs winning 30-27. Oh, boy. Here we go. My Green Bay Packers. How have we made it here? Because we won the games to get here, I guess. But here we are. It's funny how destiny has a way of working itself out, because the Green Bay Packers are going back to Santa Clara to get a second chance to right the wrongs of getting their asses kicked against the San Francisco 49ers, who are the 1 seed, who are the way better 13-3 team, who probably have the most dominant unit in the NFL, which is their defensive line, who have this crazy, insane offense that, you think you have an answer, but just when you have an answer, Kyle Shanahan has more questions to throw at you. And how you're going to stop this, how you're going to stop this, when we go this way, how are you going to go? I mean, it's just insane. The 49ers right now are the most unstoppable team in the league. And it's hard for me to say because that's our opponent. And listen, I'll say it again. When the playoffs started, I had Baltimore as the team to beat. But right behind them, like by 1%, was the San Francisco 49ers. It's not like it's a big gap, so don't freak out when I say that. But the 49ers are probably the most unstoppable team right now, but you're going to have to find a way to stop them if you're Green Bay. And I think what you have to do, you have to punch this team in the mouth early. You have not been a good team after halftime. You have not been the greatest team when it comes to making adjustments. You have not scored that many points coming out of halftime. You're going to have to come out and punch this team in the mouth. You're going to have to score early and often. You're going to have to take advantage of every little thing. I don't care if it's 3rd and 1. You sell out. You do what you got to do, okay, to get that stop. I don't care where you are on the field. You have to keep the 49ers offense on the sideline. You're going to have to throw different looks to wear down this defensive line. You're going to have to use Jamal Williams more. You're going to have to go to someone else not named Devontae Adams in the receiving game. And I think that guy's going to have to be Jimmy Graham. As weird as that sounds, I don't trust him. I want his ass to get cut this offseason. But damn it, do something before we kick you to the curb. Give us something. I mean, damn, Jimmy. You almost couldn't get a first down last week. But here we go. You know, you look at the Packers. On paper, obviously, they've been a really good football team. They haven't convinced a whole lot of people. There are going to be people out there who are going to stick by they're the worst 13-3 team ever. 2017 or 2016 Cowboys say, hold my beer. That team wasn't all that good, to tell you the truth. They bragged about barely getting by Green Bay in the regular season, only to get embarrassed in the closing moments, to tell you the truth. This Green Bay team, they're resilient. They have a lot of great components to their defense and even on offense, but the thing is they're going to have to be consistent for 60 minutes, and I just don't trust it. I got to be honest, as a Packer fan who has picked them to win every game in pick'ems, even though I had this team as like 10-6, getting eliminated in the divisional round, yeah, I'm biased or whatever. Yeah. I'm not biased. You know, the proof is in that video that I did in like August. But the 49ers are just, they're hard to defend. And you look at how many yards they get as a team and you realize, but nobody ran for like 70 yards or anything, but they have different guys doing it. Like Matt Breida will pick up X amount of yards. Tevin Coleman will pick up X amount of yards. Raheem Mostert will probably have the most yards out of everyone. And then you have that one reverse to Deebo Samuel. Maybe George Kittle gets a running play. Emmanuel Sanders on an end around. Kyle Juszczyk up the middle. Like, this team just gets their yardage in different ways. Over 70% of their snaps are motion. They have like a motion in them to see how you're going to play defense. This is a tough game. I think it's going to be a lot closer than before. Everyone's stuck on the 37-8 matchup, the outlier game for Green Bay, but it was a terrible game nonetheless. It still goes on to their 13-3 record. But even just outside of that game, let's just act like it didn't exist for a second. I still think the 49ers on paper are the slightly better team. And I'm going to pick them to win. I hate to do it, but I'm going to pick them to win 31-24. It hurts, but it's been a hell of a season for the Packers. If we do lose, it's been a hell of a season. I walk away saying, you know what, we went 13-3 with a rookie head coach, and we made it to the NFC Championship with a rookie head coach. That's insane. That's a hell of a come up. But the way the 49ers have played this season, this is a team that had the number 2 overall pick in the NFL draft, and they're probably going to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, their come up has been amazing this year, and honestly, I've been a fan of it. And everyone's been questioning San Francisco too, like, they ain't played nobody, they haven't done this, they haven't done that. Everyone's been, slowly disrespecting the 49ers as well, but I do think they end up getting it done in this game, unfortunately for me. 31-24. We'll see how it goes. So, yeah, I do have Kansas City versus San Francisco in the Super Bowl, the offensive bowl, because both of these teams have a ton of offense. No State Farm Bowl, no clash of the Titans between Tennessee and former Tennessee offensive coordinator Matt LaFleur. Nothing like that. But hopefully you guys enjoy. Good luck if your team is playing this weekend. Pray for me if we lose. Alright, talk to you later.